now everybody's favorite time of day where we all collectively experience the worst hour of our entire lives. It's been a while since I've checked in with our favorite Nick Crowley. Usually these videos end with some form of deep, dark depression, and I'm expecting no less from this. Just judging by the title, I'm guessing that this is probably going to be the worst video I have ever watched in my entire life, and I have watched many of them. I don't know if I am actually mentally or emotionally prepared for all of this, but we will all sit here and suffer together. The darkest kids TV show ever made. Now, we already know of some freaky things that go on during kids' TV shows, dude. We know all about Nickelodeon. We know all. I watched the documentary, dude. Okay, I watched that documentary, dude. Okay, we know about Dan Schneider, right? We know about Drake Bell, dude. We know. That was just Nickelodeon. That was just Nickelodeon, dude. I'm sure there's some crazy things that happen on over at Disney, over at, like, PBS or some shit, dude. I don't know. Dude, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. Not even in the video yet. Did that say excuse me? I do not condone the harassment or person. Okay, so there's a guy that. Okay, I think I have an idea of where this is going, dude. I have an idea of what is in the background, dude. I think I know.
It's the winter of 1985. A family living in a remote region of the Philippines receives a package at their door, which contained a single VHS tape and a note stating that the contents were for the children of the house. And so, the kids were gathered up one by one and sat in front of the television, where the tape began to play, introducing them to a brand new show called
Life with Grandpa. Okay, first red flag. Why the hell are people just dropping off movies on a doorstep? Listen, I have never been to Las Vegas, right? I've never been to Vegas. But I know that if I ever do go to Vegas, one of the rules is if somebody hands you a DVD, you do not take that DVD. Trust me, there is nothing on that DVD that you want to see from the random guy on the strip in Vegas, dude. I promise you that. There's nothing on that DVD you need to watch, dude. And I think it'd be the same case here. Now, I get some people aren't me, and they don't think the same. I get it, dude. But if somebody just drops a movie onto my doorstep, I'm not watching it, dude. I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not listening to your mixtape that you handed me outside the barbershop, dude. I'm not doing it. Not watching this movie you dropped on my front porch, dude. The hell? This is how you get brainwashed into a cult. This is how you get brainwashed into. I'm good. I'm so good on that.
Life with Grandpa.
I am so incredibly good on that. What the hell was that?
This was the experience.
Life with.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. You dropped this on my doorstep? I'm throwing it in the fire. I'm throwing it in the fire, dude. What the hell is this?
Grandpa.
This was the experience for hundreds of kids across the world, made to watch a seemingly harmless puppet show about a grandpa and his family, with most of the young viewers loving it, gladly watching this episode and the many others that would be sent later on, over and over again, blissfully unaware that what they were being shown would someday come to be known as one of the most disturbing rabbit holes in the history of children's media.
Oh, God.
This is the story of Life with Grandpa, the darkest kids show ever made.
Nothing can harm you when Jesus is near.
us. Oh, God, dude. Oh, nah, dude. What cult is behind this? They're indoctrinating kids into the cult. What did I say before? This is how you get brainwashed, dude.
Don't want you to leave.
Can I persuade you to subscribe?
Before we dive any further down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank
That was a lot that just happened there, dude. That's just subliminal messages, dude.
today's video sponsor, Saley. Throughout my life, I've taken countless trips to Canada as I
Look
live
at
right by the
Nicholas,
border,
dude.
and I'm so used to going there that at this point
Look
it
at
doesn't even
Nicholas,
feel like I'm traveling to
handsome as
another
hell,
country
dude.
until I see the roaming charges on my phone bill. This has literally cost me hundreds of dollars over the years, but luckily I don't have to waste another cent thanks to Saley. Saley is
Shout
a
out
new eSIM
Saley.
service app created by Nord
Whatever
Security,
that
and it's
means.
incredibly easy to use. First, download the Saley app, then pick a plan that works for you, which you can use code Crowley to get 15%
In
off at checkout.
Bahrain. Anybody in Bahrain, you can use that, dude.
And then simply follow the instructions in the app to install the
Bahrain.
eSIM. This
Where
is
is
way more
Bahrain,
convenient than
dude?
having to get a new physical SIM card
Where the hell
whenever
is
you go to
Bahrain?
another country.
Is that like
and best of all, it
Asian?
instantly activates as soon as you arrive at your
Like Middle
destination,
East?
so
What's
you don't
that?
have to waste a second of your
Bahrain.
trip. This is also way safer than having to use public Wi-Fi, which is a hassle to track down anyway. Saley is also extremely accessible to trees
Great.
in 8 different regions. On your Saley code on screen right now,
Sharing
started today.
Use code
fellowship
Nicholas.
dedicated to sharing.
She loved to play on the steep hillside.
Life with Grandpa, won't you come along?
Dude, please
This
switch
is
to
Life with
Food
Grandpa,
Network.
a straight-to-VHS show made for children created sometime in the mid-80s. The program followed a family of humanoid puppets on their journey to teach the audience lessons loosely based on Christianity through the use of stories,
So
skits,
this is just Christian Sesame Street is what I'm getting. Or it's supposed to be Christian. I'm sure it'll get a lot worse, but it's so far just Christian Sesame Street is what it sounds like, dude.
puppets on their journey
Right?
to
Instead of the count teaching you how to count, dude, they're singing hymns.
teach the audience lessons loosely based on Christianity through the use of stories, skits, and songs, acting as a guide for children to live their best possible lives for Jesus.
We're continuing with some more lessons about prayer. Are you all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord. Such sweethearts.
The show was set up in an episodic fashion, never following any main overarching storyline, and instead, each installment would be composed of a series of shorter segments, recounting past experiences from this family, with an occasional musical number thrown in here and there.
We don't have a sad God. We have a happy God who wants us to be happy too.
Unsurprisingly,
song
the main
sucks.
character of the crew was Grandpa, who acted as the show's host, often being the one to teach the episode's central messages not only to his on-screen family, but to all the kids watching at home.
But it's my kite.
But wouldn't you like to pray that some poor little boy who doesn't have so
You know
many
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about the human mind is the way that fear changes over time, right? Because, like, when you're a little kid, you're scared of, like, spiders and, you know, the dark and the boogeyman. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? And then, like, but then this is, like, perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? This is just like a good fun little show, dude. But then as, like, a grown adult, you know what I'm saying? Spiders are fine. The dark is cool. Whatever. This is horrifying. It's like we've completely switched everything. This is terrifying to me. But I guarantee you, I would have ate this up as a kid, dude.
boys and blessings as you do will find your kite?
Yes, Grandpa.
As he was made to be a wise, almost religious-like figure whose words were never questioned. Often seen by his side was his wife, Mother Maria, though for as often as she's shown, she rarely has much to say.
Yo. Hold on a minute.
Wife, Mother
Mother
Maria.
Maria. Hold on. I can't be the only one, right? I can't be the only one, right? Come on, I'm not alone on this. I am not alone on this, dude. Come on now. Let's be
Though for as
let's
often as
be
she's shown,
real now,
she
dude.
rarely has much
Come
to
on.
say.
Yes, thank the Lord for such
We're
a
on the
good,
same page,
sweet
right?
boy.
Typically only chiming in when she's reiterating Grandpa's messages to the children. And of the children, there was Davida, Techi, and Davidito, with the latter being one
What
of
the fuck kind of name is Davidito?
and of the children there was Davida,
Davida?
Techi, and
Techi?
Davidito.
Davidito. Bro's name is Davidito. I feel like if I scream that out loud, my computer's gonna start floating in the air, dude. Davidito. Sounds like something a magician would say. When he, before he like throws a smoke bomb down, he goes, Davidito! Psh, and it sparks. Dude.
With the latter being one of the show's central figures, landing right next to or potentially even ahead of Grandpa in terms of screen time, as Davidito often got his own segments and told his own stories directly to the audience.
Hello, children.
Why does Davidito look like he was like an adopted child? Look at this. You got
she's
Grandpa
reiterating
and Mother Mary. That's a
Grandpa's
right,
messages
lovely
to the
white
children.
couple.
And of the children there was Davida,
That is a little white girl.
Techi,
That is a white something. I don't know. Is that a dude? Is that a girl? I don't know.
and Davidito.
And Davidito is absolutely a little Mexican boy, dude. Stop it.
With the latter
Stop
being
it.
one of the show's central
Look
figures,
at him,
landing
dude.
right
He's got
next
an
to
Edgar.
or potentially even ahead of Grandpa in terms of
Dude.
screen time, as Davidito often got his own segments and told his own stories directly to the audience.
Hello, children. Would you like to hear some exciting prayer adventures?
Hell no.
This first story happened when I was very small.
And though it's never outright stated, it's clear that Davidito was put on a pedestal, with the child often getting special treatment and being showered in gifts, as the family clearly seemed to favor him.
Thank you, Uncle Al.
It's called a kite.
We want to give you a little surprise because you were such a good witness.
This brand new tape recorder is for you.
Thank you, Jesus.
With there never being an explanation as to why. This is the core group of Life with Grandpa, with the only other reoccurring characters being Aunt Sarah and Uncle Elf, a couple that was
Aunt
often
Sarah? Dude. Maybe I gotta peep this show, dude.
shown around the house helping look after the kids. And despite this looking like something pulled straight from the depths of the uncanny valley, the content within the show didn't really seem all that troublesome. In fact, it appeared fairly normal, and not too unlike the many other low-budget religious shows of the time, highlighting themes like obedience,
Nothing short of right is right.
Yes, so the right thing is...
To obey.
sharing,
Good morning, Davida. I have a surprise for you. Oh, can I see it? I would like to share my cars with you. Which ones do you like?
and loving
Playing
everyone.
with Hot Wheels?
That's really sweet of you, David. Thank you for that nice, generous present.
What present?
That nice kiss. A kiss makes a real beautiful gift or present.
Though mixed within these fairly standard teachings, you'll find other moments that are far more unusual.
What is happening?
Don't
What-
run down that gravel hill. Davida!
Dumbass.
Oh,
That's why you
Davida.
fell.
She's
Stupid.
bleeding, and her cut is all covered with dirt.
And I don't even have a tissue
Did
to
she,
wipe it with.
where she bust her skull open? The hell?
I'll
Do you
just have
see
to lick
that?
it clean and spit out the dirt.
You said, excuse, you're gonna do what?
I'll just have to lick it clean and spit out the dirt. Wipe it with. I'll just have to lick it clean and spit out the dirt.
Yeah, that's a little weird, dude. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how you get AIDS, but, you know, what am I? What am I, a scientist? Why are we licking... Dude, why are we licking wounds? I thought you were supposed to rub some dirt. Isn't that what they say? You rub some dirt on it? Why are you licking the dirt? Dude.
The show featured a lot of strange underlying themes that seemed to have nothing to do with religion, or at least
Well, it's like sucking out the poison. You know what I mean? It's like when you suck out the you suck out the poison when you get like hit with a scorpion or a snake. You know what I mean? You suck out the poison.
not the conventional beliefs of Christianity, with one of the more obvious being its unprompted disdain for doctors.
We'll have to really pray that there won't be a scar.
Oh god.
Soon afterwards,
Dude,
there
the whole show is anti-vax, dude. I could have guessed that. I could have guessed that, dude. Are they gonna be anti-taxes too? Dude. Oh my god, dude. They were anti-woke before that was cool, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. They were way ahead of their time.
There was no sign at all.
Notice there ain't not a single dark skin in this, dude. There's not a single DEI puppet in this whole thing. Absolutely not.
Of the deep gash on Davida's forehead. Surely a doctor would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
As well as its constant endorsement
Hey
of
kids, if your leg snaps in half, just pray to Jesus and then you'll be fine.
spanking.
Jesus spanks us because he loves us and wants us to obey and be good.
Is he whipping the fuck out of that kid?
We're really sorry.
Did he just beat his kids with a hanger and said in the name of Jesus? That's the funniest shit I've ever seen, dude. That is the funniest shit I've ever... He whipped the fuck out them kids and said Jesus does it.
And be good.
And they put a piano on it. Nah, dude, that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. They put a piano on him beating the shit out of his kids.
We're really sorry.
Oh, that's
so if
funny
the
as
Lord
fuck.
should spank you a little bit or correct you, it's for your own good. It's because he loves you and wants you to be good and obey.
And while these are certainly strange, by far the
that's
most
fucking
glaring
hilarious.
indication that Life with Grandpa wasn't just your typical kid show came from the program's stance on women, with the first major example coming from
I should have seen this one coming from a mile away. Oh, no, I should have... Dude.
a song made
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I cannot wait.
for the young girls watching on.
So do the dishes and clean the floor and God.
Oh my fucking god, dude! The first words out of his mouth are, do the dishes and clean the floor. That's fucking crazy. Dude, oh my god, dude. I can't make this shit up. Oh, bro, dude.
On.
So do the dishes and clean the floor and God can show us something more. I'm ready for any job at all, whether it's great or whether it's small.
Oh, that's
I'm
fucking
ready to
crazy.
go, ready to stay, ready my place to fill. Ready for service, lowly or great, ready to do God's will.
The message behind this song is
crazy.
clear. If you're a woman, then it's your job to cook, clean, and have babies. And that's about it, as this is God's will and your sole purpose for existing. And while this ideology was certainly not as controversial at the time,
Dude, this
the
is just Sesame Street, the Andrew Tate version, dude. That is fucking hilarious.
show took it even further, as it hammered home this idea to all the children watching on by repeating one line at the end over and over again.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey, for there's no other way.
Making it clear that this was a lesson that the showrunners didn't want these kids to question. But as comically offensive as this song is, it was far from the worst that the show had to offer.
It's time for our lecture song.
He's a friendly scientist, a real good friend of ours.
In another episode, we're shown a musical number about Grandpa,
You
who's
know,
portrayed as a
I can't put my finger on it, but this grandpa looks familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen a dude that looks exactly like this in real life. And I don't remember if it was good or bad. You know what I mean? Okay, not Osama bin Laden, dude.
In another episode, we're shown a musical number about Grandpa, who's portrayed as a scientist that's always busy working, though the song is really less about him and more about his love interest.
Get bent out of shape, 'cause he's in love with a robot.
Is that a robot with titties? What is this fucking show? Is that a robot with titties? That is the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen, dude. What the hell is this show? And they just... Dude, they just dropped this on people's doorsteps. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I say you don't want to watch the DVD, dude. This is what the fuck, dude. What the hell is going on?
Watch her flick and spin. Ooh, yeah.
A robot with long hair and nude female breasts.
That is insane.
It's one of the most surreal things that I've ever seen on a kid show, as this thing was clearly meant to be a portrayal of Grandpa's wife and women in general, likening them to robots. Though unlike the previous demeaning song, this number is blatantly perverted, as it not only shows the robot having breasts, but it also shows Grandpa fondling them as
What?
well. And these perversions weren't even exclusive to its imagery.
Dude, these are the exact... Dude, I'm telling you, these are the exact type of videos that they hand out to you in Vegas, bro. The freaky ones where you don't actually want to watch them, dude.
That's when she gets excited.
It's shocking for so many reasons, but mainly due to the fact that this was on a show that was literally made for toddlers and young children, who are now being shown this clearly explicit content. And most disturbing of all is the realization that this sexualized material was actually nothing new to the world of Life with Grandpa.
That's just a common...
Predating the puppets, there was a little-known illustrated book series called Life of Grandpa, with the show practically being a shot-for-shot remake of this book series, featuring the same exact characters and stories. And much like the show, the series was also a religious guide created for children. In its pages, you'll find themes about morality and lessons made to guide you towards a proper way of living through this religion. But these books also had a very apparent dark side, one far worse than the show it inspired. In the chapter
Real fathers? Thank you for reading us a grandpa story, Daddy. Yes, thank you.
Real fathers, we're shown a scene where Techi and Davidito question why they have two different skin colors, despite them.
I was right! I was fucking right! Davidito is fucking brown as fuck! Dude, I clocked it! Clocked, dude! I fucking called it! What did I say? What did I say, dude? I knew it!
Them being siblings, as Techi noticed that Davidito's skin
I
appeared
fucking
light
knew
brown,
it!
while hers was almost pure white, to which Grandpa then explains to them how his wife and their mother had slept with other men. See, God used Timothy.
Who did that?
While hers was almost pure white, to which Grandpa then explains to them how his wife and their mother had slept with other men. See,
are they swingers or what, dude? How did that work?
God used Timothy and Carlos only to fuck Mama, so that...
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! They were an instrument or tool that Jesus used? Dude.
I could have you both. They were just like an instrument or tool that Jesus used to help create you wonderful little children for his kingdom. Praise the Lord. This was followed by an in-depth explanation of what that scene looked like.
Why did they give a graphic novel description of it, dude? What the hell? What the hell, dude? She slept with Carlos so that she could birth Davidito, dude.
Including images depicting the act.
What? Dude! That's crazy! That's fucking... You gotta pay for shit like this nowadays, dude. That's insane. That's insane.
Examples like this are prevalent all throughout the pages of Life with Grandpa, with erotic material being shown constantly with no regard as to how inappropriate this is to be showing kids. Which begs the obvious question, why? Why was Life with Grandpa so blatantly perverted? Well, the answer lies with the author of the books, and the reason for the show's existence.
I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea why this show was so freaky.
David Berg.
Who?
He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together.
Is he a cult leader, dude? Dude, I'm so good at this. I was talking about, dude.
That's when Jesus is going to come back, to rapture his saints, to gather them together.
Born in 1919, David grew up a devout believer in Christianity.
He just drew himself, dude. The fuck?
Wanted something more from
he
religion.
Looked just like the
he
puppet.
Dreamed of one day starting his own group with his own teachings. And in 1968, at the ripe age of 50, he decided it was time to do just that.
He absolutely started his own cult, dude. I called it, dude.
The group began in Huntington Beach, California, and went by many names over the years, like Teens for Christ, the Children of God, the Family of Love, the Family International, or just the Family. But regardless of its name, there was no denying what this group was. A cult. A cult led by David Berg. Berg would find young hippies and those struggling with drug addiction and mental health issues, and convince them to join his group by stating that the end of the world was coming soon, and that they needed to follow in his path and join his family to save their souls. It was pretty standard cult ideology, but at the time it was extremely effective, with the sect amassing a staggering 10,000 members at its peak. And at first, David got by with fairly standard teachings from the Bible, although this wouldn't last. After some time, Berg began addressing his followers via frequent illustrated messages called Mo letters that featured his ramblings and teachings from the time, with Berg slowly ingraining into his members that the contents of these letters should be taken as seriously, if not more so, than the Bible. In one of these letters sent out in 1972, Berg claimed that God was going to destroy the United States and that the group needed to flee the country immediately.
Just the US, dude. Is this a fucking Avengers movie? What do you mean God's gonna come down and destroy the US like he's fucking Ultron? What the hell are you talking about, dude? See, I say this every time a cult comes up in a video, dude. I have no clue how people like end up in a cult. You've got this weird, creepy old guy going, yeah, dude, God is gonna come down and destroy the United States. So you gotta, like, what? And then all these guys are like, oh yeah, you know what? This guy's got a point. This guy's kind of cooking, dude. Let me eat some food. Like, what? Like, dude.
With Berg demanding that his followers spread out all across the globe and open up communal homes where members could live as one, far away from the public eye. As a result, many members packed up their things and left right away, leading to roughly 130 communities being established across 70 different countries, essentially overnight. This mass migration had an extremely significant impact on the family, as it left practically the entire group outside of the United States, and more importantly, outside of the United States jurisdiction, meaning that Berg can now get away with far more than he used to.
Oh
and
my god, he's playing chess, dude! That's crazy. That is crazy. Bro knows exactly what he's doing.
This is where he began to tighten his control. The full-time members were made to give up all of their earthly possessions to the group and cease all contact with their family and friends who were non-believers, cutting them off from the outside world completely. And these restrictions also applied to the media they consumed.
I decided I would limit how much I would watch the TV. Cause now I've got the answer. It's the slave, I'm the master. It no longer has a spell on me.
In his teachings, Berg
You know what's ironic? They probably showed this on TV. You know what I mean? Like it's an ad to get you to watch less TV, but they showed it on TV. You know what I mean? Like Nickelodeon did it right, dude. Nickelodeon like had a whole day where they just like blacked out the whole channel and literally told you to go outside. They literally were like, dude, go outside. Get off your couch and go the fuck outside. You lazy shit. Dude, Nickelodeon did it right. Remember that?
It no longer has a spell on me.
In his teachings, Berg denounced all forms of entertainment made outside of the cult, since he believed that this would poison the minds of his members and potentially sway them into leaving the group. And so, instead, he insisted that his followers only consume media that was produced directly by the family, with these works often being created by Berg himself or the other followers he enlisted, and then shipped directly to the members' homes, leading to hundreds if not thousands of videos, movies, and TV shows being produced and shared among the family. But for Berg, this wasn't just about providing entertainment. It was really all about controlling the minds of his group, and even more importantly, indoctrination, with his primary targets being children. From birth, most kids were not shown any media other than what the cult gave their parents, with these works quite literally shaping their minds into following everything that the cult believed in without question. The main themes of these were usually things like always be happy,
More than 70 little muscles form a rowdy face.
But only 14 muscles put a smile in its place on your face.
Wait a minute, that kind of fucking bangs. Wait a minute. They might have cooked with this one. Wait a minute.
Little muscles form a rowdy face.
But only 14 muscles put a smile in its place
Oh, yeah?
on your face.
always show love,
Why does that kind of slap, dude?
and never, under any circumstances, question your parents.
Always best to do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so.
You hear that, chat? You hear that, chat? Do it 'cause Daddy said so. A lot of you guys could learn a lot from this. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I said so. A lot, you know, this applies to you. You know what I'm saying?
Trust, obey, and do it 'cause
What if
Daddy
we don't
said
have a
so.
dad?
Do it 'cause Daddy said so.
Well-
'Cause Daddy knows best.
And Life with
I
Grandpa
guess
was
you're
no
fucked
exception,
then. I guess you're fucked then, dude.
as it too was created by
I
the
guess
family
you're
in order
damned. If you don't have a dad, you're damned to hell. It's over for you. It is over for you, dude. The devil is laughing at you, bro.
to instill their beliefs into its child viewers, with the line trust and obey being hammered home time and time again, as those creating the programs didn't want their kids questioning any of the practices, and so they were teaching them to simply smile along and trust the adults. But because the group was the one producing and distributing the content, they basically had no regulations placed on them, meaning that they could include whatever they want in these shows without any repercussions, leading to many of the showrunners exploring some of the group's more controversial beliefs, which becomes extremely troublesome when you realize that the family wasn't just your standard cult, and instead, it was a sex cult.
When you think of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, what are you thinking about? You think about a
Knew it was coming to this, dude.
naked man and a beautiful naked woman.
That
And
guy gives me the heebie-jeebies, dude. My jeebies are heebied. Like, I've got goosebumps on my goosebumps looking at this dude.
Eve in the Garden of Eden.
Like, my timbers are
What
shivering,
are
I'm telling you.
about? You think about a beautiful naked man and a
No!
beautiful naked woman. And what is the first thing that a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman would, of course, naturally do as soon as they saw each other and nobody else around? I think just one look
No!
was all it took.
What? What? Bro said, bloop. Oh, hell no, dude. And look at his face, dude. He's having the time of his life.
Was all it took.
David Berg was a
Dude.
deeply perverted man. The idea of sex consumed him and seeped its way into essentially all of his teachings.
I think Adam and Eve are over there behind those bushes.
So
right
he's
now.
he's just a mega gooner, dude. That's all it is. He's just so incredibly gooned out that that's all he can think about. Dude,
busy making non-penis.
I hope this video ends with some positivity, and he's in the damn grave, dude. That's all I'm hoping. That's all I'm hoping, dude.
I think they're making some other kind of juices.
And once his followers were outside of the US, he began to preach something he called the law of love, which essentially said that the family should be showing all people love, and that love should come in the form of sex.
I practice what I preach.
So he's just like, oh yeah, all of you guys should just do each other. No rules, no holds barred, dude. Just everybody, it's just a free-for-all. Just a freaky free-for-all for everyone, dude. Oh my God, dude.
I preach sex, boys and girls, hallelujah.
And so he told his followers to open up their relationships to outsiders, calling the practice sharing, as you were made to share your partner in the hopes of enticing new people to join the group. But he wasn't satisfied with just this, and instead he began to mandate that the women of the group participate in something he called flirty fishing. Also known as FF, flirty fishing describes the practice of women going into bars at night in order to pick up lonely men, who they would then entertain for the night. The goal of this was to convince these men to join the family, though more realistically, the goal was also to make money, as they were made to charge for their services, with the women being told to seek
So they're just hookers, dude. They're just
lonely businessmen. And this is something that Berg not only pushed heavily, but outright mandated, insisting that every woman in the group do this or face being removed from the family, even those who were married. And Berg was so serious about this that he sent every colony.
He literally said, if you don't go to the club and bust it wide open, I'm kicking you to the curb. This guy's a freak, bro.
Report forms so that they could report how much flirty fishing was being done in order to check their statistics.
There's a report card? They're keeping score, dude?
Even those who were married. And Berg was so serious about this that he sent every colony report forms so that they could report how much.
Oh my God, dude. I know some people were up there putting up wilt numbers. Oh my God, dude. I know some people was in the club every night, dude. Just, oh God.
Flirty fishing was being done in order to check their statistics and make sure that they were up to par. Understandably, many women of the group were concerned by this and wanted nothing to do with it. However, most of them had moved all the way across the world and sacrificed all of their belongings to be in this group, meaning that their removal would leave them with nothing. They were trapped. Simply put, Berg was forcing the women of the group into prostitution, and he was shameless about it too, calling them God's whores and Christ's hookers. The worst of all, Berg knew that flirty fishing could put these women in grave danger, as he admitted to them that violent assaults were going to happen, but he said that if you want to live, simply don't resist. And if you do get hurt or even killed, that's entirely your fault.
Okay. Dude, what the hell is he doing? What is the benefit for him? Is what I'm saying, dude. He's like, yeah, women, you've got no choice but to get SA'd against your will, whether you like it or not. But he's like halfway on some other plot of land, dude. What is he? How does this get his rocks off? Like, I'm lost. I'm like he is an evil bad dude, but what does he get out of it? Is what I'm confused on what his plan is here.
For all, it was God's will. And this was on top of a myriad of other horrific things that Berg said that I can't even repeat here. But the man saying
I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it.
These horrific things was the same man who wrote Life with Grandpa, and he used this medium to normalize his sex cult's beliefs for the children watching, which gives more context as to why women were portrayed in the way they were in these books and the show, as Life with Grandpa was breaking down the young girls watching and grooming them for a life of prostitution that they were made to accept without question.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Trust and obey.
Though the show wasn't only for preparing the kids for the perverse lifestyles they were headed for, and instead, they were already becoming well accustomed to it.
Dude, what?
Throughout his letters,
nothing in the world at all wrong with as long as it's practiced in love. No matter who or what excuse me? I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, sir.
Berg also began to preach that children should be involved in these affairs and sharing as well, stating that he believed age should have nothing to do with it. In fact, he believed that children should be taught about this lifestyle essentially as soon as they're born. And although, again, I can't read his exact words on this, Berg had declared open season on pedophilia, and much like flirty fishing, it was mandatory.
Dude! Okay, bro. This goes beyond putting bro on a list. This goes beyond putting him on a list, bro. Can we just, like, blow up his house? Like, dude.
The abuse that followed is unimaginable, at a scale far too
Time to the back of a train?
large to fully know to this day. Abuse that the parents of the children not only allowed, but often participated in, with one of the more notorious large-scale accounts coming from something that the group called the Love Video. This movie was a result of Berg sending out requests to all of the parents to send him lewd videos of their children dancing, which he not only took for himself, but packaged together into a long-form compilation video that was then distributed to all of the cult's members, encouraging the others to film similar content, with Berg going as far as creating a guide to help create the perfect video.
Dude!
And not only did many parents go along with it,
He thinks he's fucking Steven Spielberg of this shit. What the fuck? Dude's giving, like, director's notes, dude. He's giving YouTube tutorials on how to make the... Dude.
but many
This is
clearly
sick.
enjoyed it.
Keita shared with us the video that just came from World Services, and it was so inspiring. It was so beautiful. The love video.
And for this couple specifically, this wasn't the only order that they were happily following.
And it was really a blessing, too, for Joe and Hobo, because they had a good chance to share also with Sally. Amen. And so the Lord's really setting us freer and freer to obey and to be free and to show that sample of freedom and love to the world.
Dude.
Life with Grandpa was literally created to...
I had an idea of where this was going, and we got there. We got there. I kind of knew where this was going, and we got there. But it's still going, is the problem. Like, I thought we were just gonna get there and stop. But it's still, it's deeper than that, dude. There's a whole lot more, dude. This is fucked.
Indoctrinate kids into a pedophilic sex cult, and it makes you realize why exactly it and so many other of the cult's programs were hammering home this point of not questioning your parents or any adults, and to simply obey and smile.
So the right thing is...
to obey.
Because the adults in their life...
Now, here's a question. Here's a deep question for you. Do you think people like this, when they are like this, and they're preaching about Jesus and God and all this stuff, right? Like this guy, right? Do you think these people actually think that, like, Jesus and God want you to do these things? Or do they just want to do these things and they're just like, yeah, Jesus said so? You know what I mean? Not to be that guy, right? Not to be that guy, but you know what I mean? I'm wondering what the thought process is there with that. Like, is this how you think Jesus approves of this? Do you think that Jesus is on your side with this, or are you just saying Jesus is on your side so people will follow you? You know what I mean?
Lives were now suddenly doing unimaginable things to them, and they were being groomed not to question it, making some of the show's segments horrendous in hindsight.
One very special way you can show the big people that you love them is by giving them lots of hugs, kisses, and cuddles. Oh, a child's love and affection really encourages and inspires the big people.
It was normalizing their abuse, and because of this, many children never questioned the horrible assaults that they endured. Assaults that were all fueled and pushed by David Berg's sick perversions.
God created boys and
Ew,
girls
look at him!
able to have children. by about the
Why would you look at this guy? This guy's in your face telling you Jesus says to follow me, and you're like, oh, this guy is the truth. What? How do you listen to this guy? Look at him. Why would I trust this guy?
age of 12
Dude.
years of age. My God, now he's gonna advocate child and sex. Yes.
Which were far from theoretical, as Berg himself allegedly partook in this practice repeatedly with his own children and stepchildren, as incest was also a key point of his teachings, and his adult followers rarely dared to question this, as those who refused to partake—
Dude, it sounds like this guy just came up with the freakiest things he could possibly imagine in that freaky brain of his, and he's like, yeah, you all have to do this. He's scrolling on the fucking hub for an hour, finds a video he really likes, and he's like, oh, now everybody's gotta fucking do this, dude. Now you're required to help your stepsister out the dryer, dude. What are we doing? Like, he's literally just making shit up, dude. Like, it doesn't... This is what I mean. Like, I'm hearing all these things that he's making these people do, but I'm not understanding the logic behind any of it. I don't see the purpose. I don't see what the deal is. He's just like doing shit just for the sake of doing it.
in Berg's latest teachings were again at risk of removal from the group, which is even more devastating for those who had children, as much like all of their possessions, their kids were pledged and belonged to the family. And the kids themselves couldn't seek help either, as those that refused to trust and obey were sent away to actual prison camps owned by the cult until they were basically reprogrammed.
They made camps. I was sent with my brother to the
Oh my god, they're real, dude!
Reprogrammed.
They made...
Holy shit! And she's like not old as fuck either, dude. So this is like kind of new.
Camps. I was sent with my brother to the Philippines. We had armed guards from the Filipino military keeping us in. They...
What? The Filipino military was in on it? Dude. Filipinos, explain yourselves. Explain yourselves now.
They would publicly beat you if you asked to leave, then try to break you and get you to confess.
And the group continuously got away with this too, thanks in large part to Berg's orchestration of the group leaving the United States, which looking back was almost certainly done on purpose. Plus, many members were actually living in hiding. In fact, all of the members were made to change their names upon joining the group, and most were told to never give out their last names, meaning that if any child wanted to report that had happened to them, they would be unable to provide even the names of their abusers. And this included Berg too, who at this point lived most of his life in hiding, going by numerous aliases to avoid detection. Aliases like King, Moses, Mo, Dad, and eventually Grandpa.
Fucking Grandpa, dude. Get this out of my face!
The entire show was about him, David Berg, which is why he was shown as a wise, unquestioned religious-like figure who the children were made to look up to. And that wasn't all, as the characters shown alongside Berg were also members of his real-life family that lived with him in a remote commune. Mother Maria was the nickname of Karen Zerby, David's wife who helped him run the cult and facilitate this era of hypersexual—
So she's real? I take back my prior statements. Dude, she's fucking real?
The nickname of Karen Zerby, David's wife who helped him run the cult and facilitate this era of hypersexualization, while Aunt Sarah was based on Sarah Kelly, the woman in charge of running the prison camp made to punish the kids who
Of course, dude.
dared question the family's beliefs.
Sarah Kelly, who was responsible for me being held against my will in the Philippines.
But the most grotesque—
Dude, they've got like a whole, like like they've got the entire Sith right there, dude. You've got Sidious, you got Dooku, you got Maul over here, dude. You've got the whole fucking group. The whole gang, dude.
Best detail to come from the revelation of who these characters are was that it showcased David Berg's polygamy, as he was actually married to many people in the real world, and 2 characters on the show itself, Mother Maria and
the weird fucking robot.
Davidito.
And who?
Yeah.
I thought he was married to the robot.
Mother Maria and Davidito.
Oh, hell no, dude. How do you just keep making this worse?
His then 5-year-old stepdaughter.
I should have, I mean, I should have guessed that. That's probably the most obvious thing.
Davidito would eventually go on to tell her stories.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my god!
Stating that she had been Berg's child bride.
And there was a ceremony with the ring and everything, and once I turned 5 years old was when I was implicated into being one of his queens, so to speak.
Along with allegations that she had been victimized by him countless times. And she wasn't the only victim of Berg's perversions. Techi was often sexualized by Berg publicly, with Berg having stories made and illustrated depicting his fantasies about her when she was just a child. On top of this, numerous people within the group also claimed that she had been outright assaulted by the hands of Berg.
Dude, what I think, like, the worst part about this, right? Like, obviously this whole thing is fucked, right? Obviously this whole thing is so incredibly fucked. But, like, the worst part about this is, like, a lot of these kids were born into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, some of the teenagers and adults were brainwashed. They kind of went over. Yeah, dude. But, like, some of these kids were just born in, like, these weird cult camps. And they just have no choice but to live this life and be in this group simply because they just happen to be born by somebody in the group. You know what I mean? That's fucked, dude.
As well as many others in the group.
And look at our pretty, pretty girls today. You're dressed in such nice dresses and your hair looks so nice. Yes, you look so pretty for all the children that are watching today.
Dude.
The context of who these characters are makes this already disturbing show that much more sickening. But of all of the horrible stories to come from the real-life characters of Life with Grandpa...
And they're dropping this shit on people's doors, dude.
There's one that is far and away the most horrific. The story of Davidito.
Oh god, here we go. Here we go, dude. This is what I've been waiting for. What the fuck is the deal with Davidito?
David is such a handsome boy, isn't he, girls? Would you like for David to share some more lessons?
Yes, Grandpa.
Are you all ready? Okay, David, you have the floor.
His real name was Ricky Rodriguez, and as a baby, he was taken in as Berg's son following Maria conceiving him with a man after a night of flirty fishing. And being David's first son, he was given the nickname Davidito. As for David Berg, he viewed this child as essentially a messiah. He began telling his followers that Davidito would one day save them from the apocalypse, causing Davidito to become a celebrity within the group, and worshipped as a religious figure when he was just a baby. Which explains why he was given so much airtime during Life with Grandpa, and why he was constantly being showered with gifts.
We want to give you a little surprise because you were such a good witness.
And for David and Karen, they wanted Davidito's life and childhood to be a guide for all members of the group, as they raised him in what they believed to be the perfect manner for a godly household. And so the couple and several other contributors documented the way he was raised, with daily journal entries that were published as weekly newsletters, and eventually turned into one massive book.
You know, they're still doing this in 2025 with these damn family channels, dude, and these family TikToks, dude. I'm telling you. They still documenting these kids' raisins, I'm telling you. They still doing that. Not to this extent, but you know what I mean.
Entries that were published as weekly newsletters, and eventually turned into one massive book titled The Story of Davidito. And the family truly believed that this over 700-page book was the ultimate guide for parenting and showed the only proper way to raise a child, though what it actually showed was just how badly Davidito was being abused. Davidito is described laying next to his nude nannies, witnessing orgies involving his own mother, and being touched sexually by the adults around him. With these examples being presented through...
I didn't want to know. I believe you. You could just say there's bad things and leave it at that, dude. I didn't need to know.
Only written stories, but actual photographs, with the adults involved having their faces removed and drawings placed over the top of them in order to hide their identities. The book was not only promoting sexual acts with children, but it was outright showing it, and showing it happen to Davidito. And because of this, we have a daily journal entry of all the abuse that this child suffered, starting when he was an infant. Despite all the heinous acts that had been going on within...
You know what's crazy? What's crazy is, like, these people are bold enough to document this shit. Why would you document it? You know what I mean? Like, why are you leaving a paper trail? I'm not trying to help these guys get away, but I'm, like, just a lot of the things this guy does just makes no fucking sense to me. Maybe it's just because I've got a normal brain and I'm not a giant fucking freak show, but I don't know, dude. Some shit, I just don't get why he does certain things. You know what I mean?
The family. They had, up until this point, gone virtually unchecked by the public eye. But the story of Davidito would prove to be the first domino to fall, as the book leaked to the press.
Tonight,
see what I'm saying? Like, why would you leave a fucking paper trail, you dumbass? The hell?
Children of God, founded by Moses David Berg, he reportedly sanctioned sex among children.
This immediately became a news story all across the world, and it began shining a light on the family and its twisted beliefs. But despite all the constant news coverage, and the story of Davidito being tangible proof of the cult's horrible practices, there was still essentially nothing done to stop them, as very few arrests were ever made as a result, and even fewer resulted in convictions. So nothing was ever done to help Davidito. And so during his entire childhood and his early adult years, he stayed with the group,
dude,
though the older...
I hope he's doing good, dude. I hope Davidito is fucking flourishing, dude. I hope he's living a good, happy life. I hope he's just be a normal dude. Just living a normal life with a normal family now, dude. I really do. Okay, I hope he's like an electrician or some shit.
And
he's got 3 kids. He loves them very dearly.
During his entire childhood and his early adult years, he stayed with the group. Though the older he got, the more he began to see the family for what they really were. And the constant pain that he was experiencing eventually made him want to just run away from it all. And so, in 1999, that's exactly what he did. Fleeing to the United States in the hopes of starting a new life. Though this was easier said than done, and no amount of distance was enough to keep him away from his tortured past.
Oh, God.
At one point during his time in the United States, Ricky actually opened up about the struggles he was experiencing on a website made for survivors of the family. And there, he documented just how bad things really were for him and several others behind the scenes, living with Berg, appropriately titling the post, Life with Grandpa. It was apparent that he was haunted by this life that he tried to escape, as the trauma was an everyday cycle of hell, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
Do you know that sometimes the Lord likes to test our faith, to teach us patience, and to really make us pray? This is just what happened to me once.
Dude.
Well, hey everyone.
Davidito! Look at you, man!
I want people to know that even though
is that what I think it is? Does he have a strap? Is that what I think it is, dude?
Some of the things that I'm going to try to do are rather shocking and maybe not right.
Does he have that thing on him? What is that?
I want to explain some of the reasons behind it.
On January 7th, 2005.
Oh no, he did not! No, Davidito!
Ricky Rodriguez set up a video camera in his apartment and expressed his desire to kill his mother and other leaders of the group for all the dreadful things that they had done not only to him, but to all the other children, with his hope being that this would finally bring down the family once and for all.
My goal is to get those sick bucks Ma and Peter, and, you know... Don't tell me he does it, bro. Don't tell me he does what I think he does. Please tell me he doesn't do what I think he does. Then I can go to the next life knowing that, that I made a difference.
With Ricky going as far as to show off the various ways that he planned on torturing them.
I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. Got lots of fucking duct tape.
God knows. He hears. He cares. He loves.
They turned this guy into a maniac.
His girls and boys. He gives his very best to those who...
Where'd you get that big-ass taser, dude? Jeez!
Let him choose the toys.
By this point, David Berg had been dead for years, though the family carried on with his mother, Karen Zerby, assuming full control, which explains why she was the primary target. And much like Berg, Karen spent most of her life in hiding, with Ricky being unable to track her down, though he was able to find Angela Smith, one of the nannies responsible for raising him.
Found your ass! This is like a movie, dude! This is what we like, the redemption arc, dude! This is what we fucking like, dude! What's that one movie? What's that one movie where the dude, I think they kill, like, his brother or some shit, and then he, like, goes one by one and goes back and starts knocking them down, dude? What was that movie? Dude, I'm getting those vibes. He's going back for his revenge tour.
As well as one of his most prominent abusers, as she was even shown in the story of Davidito assaulting him. At this point, Ricky was exhausted, and Angela was his last shot at getting intel to help him find his mother and finally carry through on his plans. And so, he invited her over for dinner, under the guise of rejoining the group.
I went home that night and tried to wait patiently for the next day. But the Lord still had more lessons that he wanted to teach me. This is what happened.
Woo! He clapped the fuck out of her!
Before Ricky could even get the information he was looking for, something in him snapped, and midway through their conversation, Ricky grabbed a knife and stabbed Karen in the arm, and then slit her throat.
Piss. Now,
he fled the area.
Listen, that is still a very sad situation, because Ricky does not deserve that. He absolutely does not. Ricky, unfortunately, was a victim. A very, very bad victim. Like, he was done so incredibly dirty, bro. Like, I feel so bad for Ricky. And, like, this is just a classic case, bro. He was, you know, when he was a kid, and it made him fucking crazy. It turned him into a killer. You know what I mean? Not saying I have sympathy for that lady, but I'm saying he didn't have to become a killer if he wasn't ever in the situation in the first place. You know what I mean? So she kind of did it to herself, if you think about it. I just feel bad for Ricky, because, like, he didn't deserve anything that happened to him at any point in his life. Even that, he didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Because now he's fucked. Now he's like a murderer. He's got to go to jail.
At night, driving for hours until he reached California, the place that years before David Berg had started the family. There, he called his ex-wife, professing to everything he did, saying that he did it mainly for his sister Techi, but he felt no better. In fact, he felt worse. And even looking back at the video, it's very obvious that this was something that Ricky didn't truly want to do, and instead, he felt like he had to do it, to avenge everyone that the family had hurt.
I'm not trained. I don't know how to fucking do this. I don't even want to fucking do this. God damn it.
And it was too late to take back what he did. And so he stopped the car in a dark parking lot, sat there for a moment, thinking about everything that had happened during his painful life.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Ricky, don't tell me you did it. Ricky.
And ended his suffering once and for all.
Dude, he did not deserve that at all, bro. He did not deserve any of that at all, dude. That is so fucked up. like his whole life, his whole entire life was just wasted for that freaky ass cult, dude. That's so sad. He didn't have a chance for anything. He didn't have a chance to do anything, dude. His whole childhood gone, adulthood gone. When he finally can reestablish himself into society, it's already too late. It's already too late, dude.
I mean, in a way, that's what these fuckers have done to us. You know, didn't actually, grab a knife and cut us up, but, man, they sure fucked up our brains. That's the way it was at Grandpa and Mama's house. Literally or figuratively, they're going down. So, with that happy thought, I shall leave you.
Dude, this is so sad, bro.
Ricky Rodriguez's death was devastating for the community of survivors of the family, and it caused shockwaves all throughout the family itself, as his final video was plastered all over the news. And though it didn't happen in the way he expected it or wanted it to, Ricky's life and death undoubtedly contributed to the decline of the family, and helped diminish the cycle of abuse within the group. Starting from the story of Davidito, the public pressure forced Berg to outlaw the widespread abuse that he once preached. And though it is believed that it never really came to an end, it was at the very least significantly reduced. And by the time the news began to cover Ricky's death, it proved to be the final wake-up call for many still within the group, as they finally began to see through the facade that had once controlled their lives.
Like Grandpa said,
Dude, I got Berg in my
prayer
fucking
is
backwood,
powerful.
dude. Please tell me that other old bag bitch is fucking dead too, dude. What was her fucking name? Sarah? Dude, please tell me she's... Dude.
We pray things will happen.
Please tell me she's in the
and
fucking
things
dirt.
Will be different.
It's difficult to watch any of Life with Grandpa, knowing its history, its purpose, and the real people that it was inspired by. Though as soon as the media began taking notice of the cult, many members were made to purge the media that was sent to them that may be considered incriminating. And as a result, it appears that most of Life with Grandpa is missing to this day, and potentially destroyed forever. Currently, only 4 episodes have been recovered,
Good.
and it's not even
This is the lost media we do not want to fucking find. Remember, last time I said some lost media should just stay lost. That's what this is. We don't even need to bother finding it, dude. I don't care. Somebody's probably got it in an attic. Light the house on fire, dude. We don't need it. We do not want this, dude.
known how many
Keep it lost for good. Lose these ones. If we're being real, lose these, dude.
or were released, or even what year the show started or ended. But considering how closely the show mirrored the book, it's possible that these potentially missing and destroyed episodes are much worse than the ones we have today. But despite not knowing the full extent of the show, it's clear that Life with Grandpa and the countless other programs that the family made did exactly what they wanted them to. They brainwashed an entire generation of the cult's children, and the effects were devastating.
But they become extremely agitated when we ask them about Moses David Berg's teachings on sex.
My Little Fish. Now, your father described that as a routine publication.
They're not having sex, they're just kissing and hugging in bed. That's not sex.
If you show it to other people, they don't understand.
Oh,
That's not supposed
shit,
to be.
dude. Oh, fuck. They fucked these kids up, bro. They skewed their perception of things, too. Their whole entire, outlook on reality and their perception of things in the real world is completely different than reality, dude. Dude, they did so much damage with this fucking cult, bro. It's crazy. Even after it's over and done and the guy's dead and it's on the news and, dude, it's still, the damage is still there and they're still going.
Publicized. So many people think sex is wrong. So many people hate us. But we just telling them the truth. We're just telling them it's not wrong. We're just telling them that there's nothing wrong with it. And here come these publicizers doing them to everybody. I feel bad for that
girl, bro. She genuinely feels like there's nothing wrong. They really, dude, they fucked her up bad.
In the strange content from the program itself, its obvious attempts at indoctrinating kids into
I was
cults
laughing at that robot earlier. We were laughing and having a grand old time earlier, dude, about these weird, creepy puppets singing about Jesus, and there's a big titty robot, big titty goth robot girl, and we were laughing, having a great time, and now this has turned out to be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Crazy how that works, right?
that was only ever going to harm them, the real-life people behind the characters, and the fact that this propaganda was so effective. I have no doubt that Life with Grandpa is the darkest children's show that I've ever come across. Though, shockingly, there's somehow one more layer to the story that—
What do you mean?
That makes this program even more
What do you
disturbing.
mean another Dude.
And now, here's the exciting ending to this story.
One thing that we haven't discussed yet is who was actually the one behind the creation of the show. There's no doubt that it's David Berg's stories and was probably done at his request, but who is the one actually making it? Well, unfortunately, most of the people who worked on the show have their identities hidden by only using their first names, or even using straight up aliases, so I could hardly find any information on any of them, with the exception of one: Peter Puppet. Peter Puppet was sort of a celebrity within the group, being responsible for numerous puppet shows, including one called The Lovettes, which was actually far more popular than Life with Grandpa, and was even supposedly broadcast on TV in the Philippines, with the show being a disturbing rabbit hole in its own right.
Would you like to hear a story? Well then, let's go see Grandpa in the garden.
No!
Hello, children.
I do not want to see
So
Grandpa!
nice of you to visit us in the garden today.
But Peter Puppet owned this group, and was in charge of the Lovettes team, and coincidentally, the Lovettes just so happened to be credited as the producers of Life with Grandpa. So Peter Puppet was, at the very least, one of the contributing creators of the show. And he also seems to be the one in charge of performing the actual musical numbers on the show, as they featured puppets that belonged to Peter and the Lovettes team, with these segments interestingly being credited to an unknown man named Peter Pioneer.
We have a beautiful song from Peter Pioneer.
It's not a concrete link, but it's clear that Peter Puppet had a role in the show's creation, and helped
Oh,
push the
he
families
absolutely did, dude. Hang him in the town square. Let's go. You want to go back to 17 whatever? We gonna bring you back to 17 whatever, dude. Let's fucking go. Let's go, dude. You want to go back to the good old days, and we can string you up just like it.
disturbed ideology onto hundreds of kids across the globe. But during the creation of Life with Grandpa, it seems his own beliefs were being tested. In the beginning of the video, we saw an example of the family's view on doctors.
Surely, a doctor...
The damn anti-vax, dude. Quick side note, dude. One of the things that is awful about the world in general is, like, kids' television and kids' entertainment, right? Because, like, we seen it with Nickelodeon, right? We already know what the hell went on in Nickelodeon, dude. We know. We get the deal with Nickelodeon, dude. But, like, kids deserve / need entertainment too, dude, right? They need their television, they need their music, they need all this, right? It's how you develop into a fucking adult human, dude, is interacting with shit, right? And it's just unfortunate that, like, when you're doing content with / for kids, you're gonna have access to kids. And unfortunately, there are people who should not have that access, but they do because they're on the show. You know what I mean? And so it's fucked, because like this is an industry, like, kids entertainment is a thing that exists in the world, dude. People make children's shows, and unfortunately, freaky fucking weirdos just happen to slime their fucking way in there, dude. And it's like, what do you do about that? what do you, because usually you don't even really know until after it's already happened. You know what I mean? Like, it happens, and then it comes out, and then there's outrage, and then the guy goes to jail or whatever, right? But, like, it's kind of fucked that it has to happen first. You know what I mean? Like, is there really anything you could do besides, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it's a whole conversation that's, dude.
Would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
This sentiment was really common in the family, as Berg outright forbade any medicine or surgeries of any kind, instead preaching that miracles from God were the only way to heal. And because of this, many members of the family with chronic ailments or fatal illnesses were basically left to die. And one of those left suffering was Peter Puppet.
Isn't that how, what's his name died? Steve Jobs? Isn't that how Steve Jobs died? He had fucking cancer, and instead of going to chemo, he was just like, oh, let me try this fucking nature retreat in Bahrain or some shit, dude. I don't know. Dude, isn't that how he fucking died? That's what I'm telling you.
His life is almost entirely a mystery, as he lived in hiding in one of the family's compounds. But according to some of the group's members, one day he noticed something in his neck, a small lump. And over the next few weeks and months, it began to slowly get bigger and bigger.
Oh my god, I hope that shit took him the fuck out, dude!
To the point that Peter had to go visit a doctor in order to see what was wrong. And it was there he learned that inside of him was an aggressive tumor that was only going to get larger. The good news was the tumor was actually...
Dude, listen, fuck cancer, okay? Fuck cancer, but it couldn't have happened to a worse person, dude. Let's fucking go!
Operable, and could be removed with little risk to his life. But the bad news was, surgeries were against the family's beliefs. And so he turned it down, instead opting to go back to the compound to pray the tumor away with the other members. This, however, never happened. Instead, the mass began to grow at an even faster rate, to the point that those around him could notice it, eventually leading to Peter hiding away in his room, away from the others, not wanting to be seen. However,
He's just
at some
got
point,
a bulging thing out of his neck. Oh god. Oh, I don't even want to imagine what he looked like, dude.
During a struggle, a photograph was taken, showing the entire compound he was living with.
Oh god! Oh god, dude, that thing is fucking huge. He's got a whole water balloon on his shit, dude. Holy shit.
And in the background, we see Peter.
God damn. Look at that neck. Dude, look at that throat, bro. Oh my god.
Whose neck is impossibly large.
Holy shit.
From here, it's
dude, cancer is awful, bro. Fuck, dude. Like, we're making fun of this guy because he's a piece of shit, dude. But, like, this also happens to just good people. Fuck cancer, bro. Dude.
Said that Peter began to beg the family to take him to get the surgery, as the tumor was quite literally suffocating him slowly, turning him against the very beliefs that he once forced upon so many children over the years. But the family forbade it, insisting that he wait for a miracle that was never going to come. With nowhere else to turn, Peter Puppet supposedly ended his own life shortly after this photograph was taken, adding the final pillar of context to Life with Grandpa, a program that can only be described as the darkest children's show ever created.
We've got to go now. Let's wave bye-bye, kids. God bless you. Come on, say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good fucking riddance, dude.
For many a year, driven by hunger and filled with fear.
This is the most ominous shit I've ever heard. Dude, I just got the chills. Oh, dude, I just got the chills, bro. Fuck, this guy creeps me out so bad. Died of natural causes. That's unfortunate.
my steps
Unnatural causes is unfortunate, dude. I was hoping he got hit by a bus.
to trace.
He was never convicted. That's also unfortunate.
Willing to take
Karen continues her husband's legacy by leaving them. Wait, it's still a thing? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean continues to lead? It's still a thing? How have you not... Dude, they have to know where she's at, dude. There's no way you haven't found her after all these fucking years. You got no idea where she's at. There's no way. There is absolutely no fucking way, dude. What do you mean to this day? The hell? She's not been photographed or seen publicly since 2010.
I should arise and go back to my
Sarah Kelly left and went into hiding. She was last seen living in Costa Rica in 2018, working with Seeds of Hope. Okay, now, a charity specializing in helping vulnerable women and children. Okay, now, here's the question. Here's the question. Is she responsible for things? Because we know she did shit. Right? We know she did shit. Bad shit. But should she get held responsible for the shit that she did, knowing that she was brainwashed into a cult, right? Because it's like, on one hand, I get it, she was in a cult, she was brainwashed, and, you know what I'm saying, she kind of didn't have a choice, whatever, but, like, she kind of did have a choice. Like, she could have left a long time ago, but she didn't. You know what I mean? And she was a grown adult. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like she still needs to be held accountable for the things she's done. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, it's great that she left and she's at a charity, but you still did the things you did. Knowingly. Upon learning of her true identity, Seeds of Hope severed ties with her, and she's never been seen again.
Back to my father and home. Why should I perish?
Techie would later speak out against what her brother did, claiming that no abuse ever took place, that Ricky was simply disturbed. Techie! Dude! That was not a plot twist I was waiting to hear, dude. I thought Techie would have made it out too. But nope, she just evolved into another one of them. Dude!
In dark despair, here where there's no one to help.
Now, do we think Techie is so incredibly fucked up because of her childhood? Or, I mean, obviously she is. But, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this particular one. Because, like, on one hand, I get it. She was a kid. Brainwashed, all that shit. But, like, she's grown now. She's gotta know, right? She's gotta know.
When there is shelter and food to spare, I will arise and go, deeply repenting.
The many victims of the family will likely never receive the justice they deserve. Continues the operations with strict rules against the abuse of children. Oh, what about the abuse of the adult women as well, dude? Did you forget about them? Did you forget about the stipulations of them submitting, dude? Of them just letting it happen? Like, did we forget about them? Are they still doing, what was it? Those weird club runs, dude. They're going fishing or whatever. They still doing that? They have never disavowed Dave Berg's teachings. Dude, they were all for it. The only reason they stopped was because it got out into the public. It got out into the public, everybody was flaming the fuck out of them, so they had to take the heat off of them, and they're like, okay, we won't do anything with kids no more. So, our bad. But, like, really they want to. It sounds like deep down, it's still running, all this stuff, they got these rules. Deep down, dude, they was on his side, dude.
His child will I must run.
That was the worst video I've ever seen in my entire life, dude. George Lopez. Dude, I was laughing and having a ball at the beginning of this, dude. We were making fun of, like, Jesus's puppet pals and a big titty, goth, weird robot lady, like Karen 2.0, and then it just spiraled. And I knew where this was going, but I didn't know how deep this was gonna go, dude. I knew I was jumping into a lake, but it turned out I jumped into an ocean, dude. Because, dear God, dude, this was a whole lot worse than I was expecting something awful and terrible, but this somehow went beyond that, dude, which is absolutely insane.